Season 8 added one of the best tools for new players yet, Playstyles. Pre-made loadouts designed to showcase the finals variety in each build. And for the past week, I've been testing them all to see, are they good? Do they actually fit their subclasses? And most importantly, are they fun? Because you know what they say, first impressions matter most. Hi, my name is Creed, and today, right after I break down how these new playstyle works for beginners, I'm going to rate them based on a bunch of different factors and suggest what could be changed if needed. Then I'll take a step back and look at the new player experience as a whole, what's good, what's missing, and spiral down from there. As a heads up, I'll be judging every loadout through the cash out format and from a non-competitive perspective. Because honestly, if you're a new player, you shouldn't worry about squeezing out the best possible performance, you should just be having fun and a smooth experience. And of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts not only on the playstyles, but on the new player experience overall. So drop a comment, whether you just launched the game 3 days ago, or you're getting ready to play on stage at the major in November, and everyone else in between, obviously. So, when you first start up the game, right after finishing the tutorial, you immediately hit with the playstyle screen. From the start, you get 3 default loadouts for each build, plus an extra playstyle token you can spend to unlock a 4th one. Until you have unlocked all the remaining playstyles, you'll earn more of those tokens. And when you do unlock a playstyle, you instantly get access to all the weapons and the gadgets included in it. Pretty straightforward. For the first playstyle, I'm actually starting with Heavy for once and the default kit, Guardian. It's described as specialized in protection and team support through shield and healing. Ideal for contestants who bring a shield to a gunfight and win anyway. That winning part kinda depends on you actually hitting your shots with the 50 akimbo, which is a wild choice for the default heavy weapon. Don't get me wrong, it's a super fun gun to use, but it's super dependent on headshots and good aim. To guard your teammates, you get the mesh shield as your specialization, basically cosplaying as Reinhardt from Overwatch. Sorry for mentioning that game, it will not happen again. Your first gadget is a dome shield, aka the bubble, and to this day is still the best all-around shield in the game, as you can drop it defensively or push aggressively with it. Then for healing, you got the healing emitter, aka the ball, aka Chuck, aka your mom. You also have the grenade as your third gadget, but it's honestly something you'll often swap out for something in your reserve, like the pyro, goo, or smoke grenade. A lot of these extra gadgets don't really make sense in the default playstyles anyway. In your reserve, you also have the M60, which is for people like me who can aim with the 50 akimbos. Oh my god, that was sad. Oh, gaming! We're up to gaming, dude! While they're a cool factor, I'm not sure the deagles make sense as heavy's default. You need to understand that a good portion of new players won't even bother checking the reserve, which might scare them away from playing heavy at all. But at the same time, swapping the M60 to default and hiding the deagles in the reserve would feel too overprotective. Overall, the rest of the loadout feels solid. It's your classic protective heavy kit. Sure, the grenade could have been replaced with something a bit more exciting like the gravity cube, log bolt, or C4, but I might make it a bit too overwhelming as a starter setup. As it stands, you do get a good taste of what defensive heavy looks like, and this exact loadout could still hold in ranked. I give it a 3.5 chuck out of 5. Moving into something a lot less reliable, the Demolisher playstyle. It's described as specialized in high impact destruction made to disrupt and distract. Ideal for contestants who believe chaos is the best served loud, messy, and broadcasted. Loud is the right word. The minigun is a default weapon here, and honestly, I don't think it works at all for this setup. For the OGs who've been watching since day one, you know I've got some personal history with the minigun, and I'll be the first to admit, I suck with it. I've never been good with it, it's just not my thing. But even putting that aside, I don't see how it fits with the charge and slam. Charging through a wall to surprise someone, then waiting 4 seconds for the minigun to spin up, yeah, that just doesn't work. The RPG, on the other hand, does fit the demolition theme. It's a great early unlock and a natural pick here. But then you look at the rest of the kit. Mines and power grenades, like sure they blow stuff up, but paired with the charge and slam, they feel completely out of place. Unlike the sledgehammer, which should 100% be the default here. Not only is it way more reliable than the minigun, but it also gives new players an introduction to melee, which is honestly just as important in this game as gunplay. You also get filler grenades like frag, goo, and smoke in reserve, but overall, this loadout just feels all over the place. The only time it really clicked for me was with the sledgehammer, and even though melee isn't reliable on every map, when it worked, it was fun. I mean, it's a sledgehammer. Who doesn't love the sledgehammer? Oh fuck. Okay, that's huge.
No! 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 No!
Hello! Oh fuck! Oh, fuck. No, miss! No, oh fuck. Oh my god. If I could tweak this kit, my first swap would be to trade the minigun for the flamethrower. Slightly less wow factor, but it actually synergizes with the charge and slam, and still can be used as a demolition weapon. I'd also replace the mine with C4, much more aggressive and versatile, which is exactly what this playstyle needs. Finally, I trade the power grenade for glue or smoke, so players can mess with the elemental interactions using the flamethrower, while also giving the playstyle a bit of defensive utility. As it stands, I give it a 3 out of 5. Next up, we have Enforcer, described as specialized in restricting and manipulating enemy movement, ideal for contestants who lock down space, pace, and any opponent in their way. Kinky. This is your classic claw heavy, probably the most meta-coded playstyle so far, with the Shack 50 working beautifully with both the winch claw and lockbolt, which are some of the best unlocks in the game. I don't mind the tactical sensor as it works in the tactical gadgety playstyle, but I really need to understand what the fuck is a gas grenade doing here? Are you accepting me to lockbolt someone and gas them at the same time or something? There's no way this worked. Other than that, you've got your usual filler grenades and the SA-12, which is a solid primary alongside the Shack 50. Overall, this loadout flows exactly as you'd expect. Smooth, competitive, and full of tools for fun tech. I would just swap the gas grenade for literally anything else. I give Enforcer a solid 4 Chad Heavy out of 5. Finally, for Heavy, we have the goofy one of the bunch, the Strategist. Get it? Goofy? The goo? En fait, pistolet à goutte. Described as specialized in fortification and manipulation of the environment. Ideal for contestants who like to dictate movement through strategic terrain control. Rated 3 on the difficulty scale, and trust me, this is by far the most complicated heavy playstyle yet. Not only is the goo gun one of the most complex gadgets in the game, with new niche uses being discovered weekly, paired with the KS-23, which is arguably the most unforgiving weapon in the game, it's brutal. Don't get me wrong, in the right hands, it's insanely fun and powerful, but this combo is not meant for the weak. You also get a C4 and a barricade, which are far more reliable, and a smoke grenade? Okay. And in your reserve, the M60 and the usual filler grenades. This plays weird. I get the shape, the battlefield idea, but I struggled to make sense of what I was doing. Yet, the clumsiness ended up being part of the fun. I played less seriously and just tried to make things work out. What? Nice! Actually huge. Why is it destroying everything? Stop breaking my goo! Oh, hit! Woo! Oh fuck! Shut the fuck up! Despite my score. My biggest week will be swapping the smoke grenade for a power grenade. I mean, at this point, just embrace the chaos and burn it all down, you know? I give Strategist a 4 gooning out of 5. I think all 4 of these heavy playstyles really showcase how rich the heavy build is. You've got your melee, close and long range weapons, and a bunch of goofy gadgets. I pressed every button and it worked, so... Sure, I wish there was a pyro mine or gravity cube thrown in somewhere, but it seems each playstyle is limited to 4 new items out of the 5 slots, saving the niche gadgets for after you unlock everything. That's obviously designed to make players grind a little longer, something I'll address later. What?
Do you know what time it is?
No?
It's medium time!
I'm still working on my transitions. The default medium playstyle is medic, as it should be. Described as specialized in supporting their team with healing and mobility. Ideal for contestants who heal like a hero, move like a menace. What is supposed to be menacing about a fucking heal beam? This is the most straightforward kit so far. AKM as your primary weapon, paired with the jump pad and the single most powerful gadget in the game, the defibrillator. and a grenade just for the fun of it, I guess. These are all classic items in the finals. They work seamlessly together. While I usually prefer something with a bit more punch when using the heal beam, you do have the revolver in your reserve, plus the usual filler grenades. There's not much to say here. It's been the standard medium experience since the start. Reliable and fun. I'm just right here. Oh god. Hello. Good. That's a lot of damage. Jesus Christ. Okay, good. Oh my god. Huge. Good team play. For new players, it's perfect. Simple, intuitive, and effective. I gave Medic 4 in-season chicken out of 5. Our next playstyle is an engineer. And no, this is not about Team Fortress 2. This is not about Team Fortress! Described as specialized in defense and hindering enemy advances. Ideal for contestants who enjoy turning the arena into a carefully created nightmare. This is about being as annoying as possible. You've got the Garden Turret, aka the Sentry, aka Terry, paired with the Model 1887, which while it's far from its prime, it's still reliable in the right hands, and kinda does work with Terry. To reinforce your defense and annoyance, you get the IPS Turret, Glitch Trap, and Goo Grenade. Gadgets that all fit within the theme, and if you want to be even more of a son of a you can also swap the shotgun for the CL40, along our usual filler grenades. Honestly, this one was my least fun to play. I'm not a fan of the model or the CL40, and while the gadgets do their job, they don't necessarily help you achieve anything exciting past defending a room or a cash out.
Fun.
Hey, I'm Uncle Dane, the famous TF2 YouTuber. This is a totally real cameo. And well, Creed is so wrong because, well, banner edgy is a thing.
But I wouldn't change much about it. The only thing I will do is swap the Goo Grenade for the defibrillator, as it should be a crime not running it in any game mode about TDM. I gave Engineer a 2.5 Rancho Relaxo out of 5. And now we have the Hacker, described as specialized in breaching and disabling enemy defenses and fortifications. Ideal for contestants who like to rewrite the rules and the terrain. Okay, SimCity, whatever. This playstyle is basically your average meta DMAT medium kit, including the glorious, wonderful, perfect god tier FAMAS as your primary weapon, as well as the zipline and data reshaper. Among the filler slop, you also have the FK, which has always been a solid choice. Now, playing with this playstyle was the opportunity for me to play with the data reshaper for the first time. Sure. In 800 hours. I understand that they're going with the reshaping vibe with this kit, but this is and has always been a gimmick of a gadget. And guess what? I barely used it, as I keep it in for the sake of the theme and swap the zipline for the jump pad, as it pairs way better with the DMAT and replace any grenade with the defibrillator, because missing that is just losing too much value as a medium. Other than that, it's the classic DMAT medium, solid, effective, and reliable. I give Hacker an easy 3.5 blackout out of 5. Now, whenever you're playing with one of these playstyles, half the time they feel more like gimmicks than actual subclasses, but that's more of a problem with the medium build as a whole. You see, medium's primaries are so good that you end up losing too much value by not participating in a gunfight. It's not necessarily a bad thing per se, but it makes the whole build feel a lot more linear and repetitive compared to heavy or light. I just hope the next medium specialization helps the melee subclass, because as of right now it's more of a joke than anything else. And now, moving to the clown of the class, the one everyone loves to hate, Light. I miss the old Kanye. At least I'm thankful he died before dropping terrible music and spiraled down into one of the most problematic creative figures of our generation. Anyways, for the default Light playstyle, we have Scout, described as specialized in tracking opponent and long-distance combat. Ideal for contestants who prefer staying on the move and keeping enemies in sight. It's Sniper Light. I don't know why Embark thought it was a good idea to set the default Light build with a sniper, and while I was originally planning on having a huge rant about this loadout, I ended up having a ton of fun? Oh god. Oh my god. Come here. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh my god, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. God. Oh my god, Jesus. I'm gonna... I just... I am very embarrassed. I am genuinely very embarrassed. That was a hit? How? Okay, please. Oh, for the love of God. For the love of God. I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm having... Oh my god! The grappling hook is already my favorite light specialization, and both the sonar grenade and thermal bow are solid as ever. I've never really allowed myself to play with the sniper in World Tour, and while I didn't win any game, I finally understand the appeal. The only thing I will change is the XP54 in reserve. While it's a great weapon, I think it clashes a bit too much with the sniper and isn't necessarily the best range option. Something like the LH1 or RN would be a better fit. This one's a surprising 4 toxic light main out of 5. Just don't accept to be winning games when using the sniper. No! Next up, fairly rated 3 on the difficulty scale, the Assassin. This Rabdas specialize in cloaking and close range combat, ideal for contestants who rely on stealth to get close and catch enemies off guard. So basically, you're being a... I'm not doing a joke about sexual assault. I appreciate that M-Box offers the more complicated playstyles right away, and while I personally can play the throwing knives for shit, they're still fun when you hit your targets. Though I don't really think it is necessary to have a cloaking device and the vanishing bomb in the same loadout, with also the breach charge. I'm not sure about the stealth implication with this one cheat. The Villainess is your reserve weapon, and you already know we got our usual fillers, but I didn't personally find much fun in the whole stealth gameplay. I much prefer explore the movement side of things, but I guess it has its charm. I just found myself more frustrated with it more than anything else, mainly because it needs some serious gadget swap to feel like a proper assassin. Change the stock gas for the smoke grenade and change the vanishing bomb for the thermal... Oh! Alright, yeah, I forgot. This one is a 2.5 crisis out of 5. And finally, the Duelist. I've made a joke. Are you happy now? I made a joke. I made a Yu-Gi-Oh joke. Are you happy? Described as specialized in hit and run tactics and disabling opponents. Ideal for contestants who prefer quick engagements and disrupting their opponents. Now, this is the classic light experience. The loadout is solid. The glitch grenade and the nullifier pair perfectly with the evasive dash. M11 is goated, and the sword in reserve give a nice taste of melee for light. And these again, yeah. Duelist was very familiar, as I love the M11 and my Nvidia glitch grenade. They've both been in my rotation since the beginning of the game. The flashbang was fun, though I'd probably swap it for the glue grenade. Overall, it nails that fast-paced hit and run playstyle, and it's hard to beat. This one earns a 4 sweaty light out of 5. I think the light playstyles have too many issues. The default shouldn't be Scout but the Duelist, and there isn't a single playstyle that gives the getaway, arguably the second best gadget in the game. Other classes get some of the more meta gadgets early on, so it feels like light is missing out, especially on something that's actually fun to play with. But overall, Unbox nailed it. This is easily the best addition for new players, doing exactly what it's meant to do. The majority are balanced, make sense for the class, and most importantly, are fun. No shot! Sure, you won't see this exact loadout in the major, but with stock playstyles and a little grenade swapping, any of them can get you to Diamond or Ruby. The real question is, what happens once you've unlocked every playstyles? There's already a ton to grind in the game. Sponsor track, battle pass, contracts, ranked. But I started thinking, if I was a skeptical new player, would there be something that would make me go, wow, I want to grind this game again tomorrow? Apart from the gameplay, honestly, not really. Sponsor rewards this season are a bit lackluster and the free battle pass isn't too exciting either, but these are all things I'll cover in my season 8 review and it's coming very soon. And well, ranked and world tour doesn't reward you until the next season. So I've had an idea, and I don't think it will be financially responsible for Embark as a company, but what if finishing all the playstyles gave you a token to unlock a legacy battle pass for free? Think about it. You're a few days in and you see everyone rocking these sick cosmetics and you want them too, but are still unsure about spending money on this game. Then you realize that all the old battle passes are available for anyone to grind and you can get the one you want for free. This is the greenest of the green flag. If this was a first date, I think I would just explode. That kind of reward will make new players feel invested, push them to grind, and honestly make them more likely to spend later. Like, you got so much stuff for free as a welcome gift, you're more incentive to tip them, you know? At this point, the hope is that the new players are hooked by the gameplay and the cosmetics and the grind keeps them playing, but then there's a whole other conversation about the endgame in the finals, and I've already mentioned multiple times that I wish there was something more than just branded XP grinding, but I'm diverging. Many wonder why there aren't more people playing the finals. And while I feel like the obvious lack of global marketing is at fault, one of the main factors is how complicated the finals is to jump into. Most players have hundreds of hours and mechanics like the cash out format and power shift are exclusive to the game. There's no training ground anywhere else, apart from like aiming, but my main fear with the finals is that it ends up only having dedicated and knowledgeable players and everyone ends up becoming sweats out of necessity. Something similar to what happened on APB. 99% of you watching don't even know what I'm talking about, but what I'm trying to say is that if you're trying a game out for the first time and everyone has basically thousands of hours, it's going to discourage 95% of potential new players. I've already mentioned this in my World Tour video, but we, the community, have a role with making those new players into dedicated ones. Be patient, forgive mistakes, teach the basics or make content. Art, memes, videos. Community attracts, and I think it's not a hard guess that most of you who are still watching probably want more people in the finals. More new player features, more ways to invest time in the game, stronger community bonds, better communication and marketing. The ones pushing the ship off the shore will always be the developers, but the community will always be the ones rowing the ship. Wow, I'm even getting poetical and shit. I want to genuinely thank you guys for the support lately. On the shorts, TikTok, Twitter, the lore video, and even to those of you discovering my content months later. Welcome, by the way. We're closing on 3K subscribers and I've got so many more ideas lined up for this channel, and maybe even another one. As I mentioned, the next time I'll see you will be for my Season 8 review. Just like the Black Sail video, this one started as an extracted segment that grew into a full video, so make sure to subscribe to get notified when it drops. And as always, feel free to give me your thoughts on anything I just covered, or just feedback on the video. I love debating with you guys, even when you're just calling me names, or asking me to all up. Shout out to the whole gang. Obligatory social plug, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.